and chilly.
All right, Justin, well, rain or shine, this event is happening tomorrow. Clark County wants everyone to win the census. It's going to host a rally to kick it all off tomorrow. And joining me today is Bill Marion to talk more about the event. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. Okay, so we chatted a little bit about this earlier on the phone as I wanted to get a little more information. First, let's just start off with, we've been talking about the census for a couple weeks now. Why is it so important for people to take part, and what's the outcome for us here in Southern Nevada?
So every 10 years the census happens and everybody needs to get counted. There are two big things that happen with the census. The first is congressional apportionment. We have 4 Congress members. We're on the cusp. We have the opportunity to maybe get a 5th congressperson. So the census numbers will dictate that. Secondly, though, and more importantly, there is about $700 billion in federal domestic spending that is apportioned to states based on population. That's Medicare, Medicaid, transportation funds, education funds, all kinds of social services funds come to the states based on population. For every person that isn't counted, the state will lose $2,100 a year for 10 years. If we have just a 1% undercount, that's $60 million in federal revenue every year for 10 years that Nevada won't get.
Okay, so let's talk about the people who can take part in this. Are there any restrictions, or, you know, I feel like a lot of people might have shows here that might be performers, but they spend half their time here and half their time in a different state. Can they take part?
So here's the deal. If you are living in Nevada, even as a temporary resident, on April 1st, you get counted in Nevada. If you're a student from Iowa, but you're at UNLV and you're in the dorm or you're living off campus, you get counted in Nevada, not in Iowa. If you are a major league sports player and you've got Canadian citizenship, if you're living in Nevada, even as a Canadian citizen, you get counted in Nevada. So it doesn't matter what your citizenship status is, doesn't matter whether you're temporary, you might be a snowbird from Minnesota, you get counted while you're here in Nevada.
That's really good information for everyone to know. I feel like obviously you gather a lot of information with the census, so a lot of people are always concerned about privacy. So the information that people give you, is that something that will just remain just with the census?
So all of the information you provide is absolutely secure and confidential for 72 years.
Oh, wow.
So all that happens and all that goes public is the aggregate numbers. The individual data that you provide is kept in confidence. So that would, 72 years, that means the latest data that you can get from the Census Bureau is 1940. So it's secure for that long. No federal agency has access to the data. No private entity has access to the data. There is a fine of $250,000 plus potential prison time for anybody trying to access that data.
So people can feel safe about this.
People can feel safe. The ICE, FBI, the police departments, nobody has access to that information.
Okay, before we run out of time, I do want to ask you, why is Southern Nevada such a difficult place to count?
So we are a state that it's a growing population. It's also a very diverse population. We have a large immigrant population here. And so those are traditionally hard to count communities, which is why we're doing everything possible to make sure that everyone knows that they need to be counted, because everyone matters.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, where is the event? When is it happening tomorrow? What do people need to know? 9
o'clock to noon tomorrow
Okay.
at the Clark County Government Center Amphitheater on Grand Central Parkway, just off of Charleston. And we've got a mariachi band. We've got the Cheyenne High School marching band. We have cheerleaders. We've got all kinds of elected officials and organizational representatives that are going to be there. It's going to be a great time.
It's a real rally.
It's a real rally.
Yes, I love this. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We also are going to have all this information up on our website too, ktnv.com, and we'll be right back.